Welcome to Time Space Forever 2026, and I have a very special guest here on the show. Actually, my very first guest of 2026, Vic Mignogna, and I just want to. I'm honored, Vic, to have you on here. I actually I thought I was going to have a panic attack there for a minute.
Well, it's an honor to be your first guest of the year. My goodness.
Yep, 2026. As we're talking backstage, we have people in the house here. We have Hardy Girl 166, I believe, and she's saying hi, Vic.
Hello, Hardy Girl.
It's awesome. But I love the show. I remember seeing some of your interviews here where I'm probably a little bit like you, where you had the three channels and you only had certain things you could watch.
Yeah.
When I first started, I started watching. You had the rabbit ears, but not the rabbit ears. You had the clothes hanger rabbit ears, and I believe you had like three channels: 36 or 34, 12, and 40, or something like that, or 46. And I remember I started watching when Doctor Who came on. Doctor Who was on 46 public TV. I started switching the channels, and I started about 5 o'clock in the evening. I started watching the original series, Star Trek. That's how I got hooked into it, and started watching it ever since. So, Vic, I mean, can you let everybody know, the listeners out here are watching, just how this all got started? I mean, can you kind of like tell them?
Sure. Well, I mean, just like you, when I was a little boy, I came home from school every day, and in the Pittsburgh area, we had Channel 2, Channel 4, and Channel 11. And every day at 5 o'clock, Channel 11 would show Star Trek. And my parents had just divorced, and so I really latched on to Captain Kirk and kind of, a father figure, kind of a role model. And I just absolutely fell in love with the show, kind of became obsessed with it in the best way.
Yes.
Building models and making uniforms and building prop replicas and rounding kids in the neighborhood up to make little episodes and all of it. And, over the decades, you go on to college and, you get married and whatever. And you still love it, but it kind of takes a back seat. And then about 15 years ago, a friend of mine contacted me and said, "Hey, you're a big Star Trek fan, aren't you?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, since I was a little boy." And they said, there are these people on the internet. They've rebuilt some of the sets and they make episodes. So I looked them up and I thought, wow, that's kind of cool. So I contacted them and I got involved in one of their episodes. But between you and me, Kurt, between you and me and anybody listening, as a filmmaker, I spent my life and college studying film, shooting, editing, directing, lighting, all of it, camera, makeup. And so whenever I look at a production, I look at it through that lens. In the same way, somebody who hangs cabinets for a living would go to their friend's house for Thanksgiving and they can't help but look at the cabinetry and go, "Oh man, this is a crappy job," or, "Oh, I really love what they did there." You just can't not filter it through your own particular background of skills. And the one thing I walked away, I got involved in a couple of different Star Trek fan productions. And the one thing that I walked away thinking immediately was, man, this could be done so much better. These guys mean well, but they don't know what they don't know. They don't know that this is a bad camera shot, and they don't know why. And they're not following focus, and they don't understand how important that is. Or the lighting could be so much more dramatic here, and they don't understand that. And the acting's not good, and nobody knows their lines. And it's just, you know what I mean? It was operating at a very different level. And I want to pause and say, Kurt, I have nothing against those people. God bless them. I mean, I'm a live and let live kind of a person. Kurt. I'm like, hey man, if you love Star Trek and you want to dress up and make an episode, God bless you. You go for it. But know what your capabilities are. Don't expect that it's going to, that it's going to be the next greatest thing that's ever been done. If you don't have a lot of experience in production or acting or filmmaking, it might very well be something you have a passion for, but the general audience may not think so much of it. They may think it's kind of amateurish. And you need to be okay with that. If you're not a professional, you need to be okay with that. So I walked away from these other productions thinking to myself, man, I would love to make one episode of Star Trek the way I remember Star Trek. And so I rented a building. Very simply, I rented a building in South Georgia, and proceeded to join with a bunch of volunteers and a couple of other fan film people to rebuild the entire soundstage from the original series of Star Trek, which, by the way, nobody had ever done. There were other fan productions that built a bridge and a scaled down transporter room, or built a bridge and a tiny sick bay, but nobody had built the whole thing. And I thought, well, let's do that. And then I'm going to bring a bunch of people together that love Star Trek, but they're also skilled craftsmen. They're good camera people. They're good lighting people. They're good sound people. They're good makeup people. They're good wardrobe people. They're good actors. So I brought these people together. We made Pilgrim of Eternity. And I didn't have any illusions about how it would be received. I wanted to do it for myself. I wanted to do it to pay tribute to this show that I loved so much. So we made it and released it, not having any idea how it was going to go. And lo and behold, fans really, really responded to it. I was kind of surprised. And so I thought, well, maybe let's make another one. So at this point, we launched a crowdfunding campaign, and we raised enough money to make 2, 3, and 4. And then we launched another campaign and made 5, 6, and 7. And then we launched one more campaign and made 8, 9, 10, and 11. And I'm very humbled and grateful to say that today I've been told I don't really follow the metrics. I just make the stuff. I don't really pay. How many views do we have? I don't ever do that. Never. People tell me. I don't even know. But I had somebody tell me the other day that we're near 20 million views. And they told me that we average 3,000 to 5,000 views a day.
Oh, yeah. I watch it religiously almost every day, every night. I have to watch it. Oh, well, we're talking about the first episode, From Here to Eternity. And Michael Forrest came on. Now, there's the link to the original series. Yep. Right from the first episode.
Yeah. I did a fan production years earlier with Barbara Luna. Who played Marlena Moreau in the Mirror Mirror episode of the original series. And she and I worked together on a project. And while we were at this project, she said to me, you know, Mike Forrest would love to be a part of something like this. And I thought, that would be cool. And then I started thinking, well, what would the story be?
Right.
And I mean, especially, you know, when he's 85 now. And so I came up with the story that the elevator pitch to Mike was, this is an Apollo redemption story.
Awesome, man. I tell you, I cannot believe you write all these stories, and you know.
Well, I don't write all of them. I've written several of them, but again, and I want to give credit where credit is due, Kurt. I've written several of the stories, but I'm not a script writer. I'm a script editor. So just like Gene Roddenberry, you can give me a script and I can read it and go, okay, I see a great deal of potential here, but this should be different. This should be here. This guy shouldn't say this. This guy should say this. And do exactly what Gene Roddenberry did. He would receive screenplays from writers in the day, and then he would tweak them to make them conform to his vision of Star Trek, of his show.
Awesome.
And so I wrote several of the stories, but I handed them off to have friends of mine like, oh my goodness, I shouldn't even start now because then I'll leave somebody out. But different people who would, Mark Cushman and Kipley and James Kerwin, and I would give them the story and say, this is the story. Now you flesh it out. And then they would flesh it out. They would send it back to me. And I'd go, okay, I really like this part. And let's check this part. And what if we did this part? So it was kind of a group collaboration that way.
That's awesome. Just the cast. I mean, of course, you, Vic, and Todd Haberkorn, Chris Doohan, Grant Imahara, Kim Stinger, Michelle Speck, Wyatt Leinhart. I mean, that's just the cast. I mean, and they're all fit right in there. They all look like the cast. I mean, it looks like.
Let me comment on that, Kurt. There are a lot of fan productions that get really, really caught up with wanting somebody that looks like the original character. And my feeling about it is, well, okay, that's all well and good. But if they're not a good actor, it really doesn't make much difference if they look a lot like Leonard Nimoy.
Right. Yeah.
You know, they may come on screen. Here's the way I believe it works. A character comes on screen, and if it looks a lot like the actor, but not a good actor, you're like, oh my God. It looks just like the real actor. Right. This is amazing. And then 1 minute later, you're like, oh my God, this guy's a horrible actor.
Yeah.
As opposed to the way I chose to approach it, you look a bit like the actor. You look pretty good, but you're a good actor. So in that sense, it's turned on its head. When the actor first comes on screen, you're like, huh, well, it doesn't look a lot like Spock, but okay. And then within a minute or two, you're like, this guy's an awesome actor. I'm buying it. I'm buying into it. And now you're invested, and you completely forget all about the fact that it's not actually Leonard Nimoy anymore.
Right. That's what happened to me when how I stumbled across Star Trek Continues. I loved the original series so well that I wasn't about to give anybody a chance, right?
Sure.
Until I started listening. You know, I started watching how you did the parts, how everybody did the parts to the scenes. Everything was right in line. It was perfect. You could tell who was doing everything. You know, the guest stars, Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, so many other special.
Yeah. Aaron Gray, John Delancey, and Lockhart,
yes.
Rekha Sharma, Gigi Edgley. I mean,
Amy Rydell.
Oh my gosh, yes.
We were just talking about Barbara Luna, so that's there's the connection.
Asia DeMarcos, the girl.
Asia DeMarcos
did a great job.
Yeah, another link to the original.
Every single one of these people, the first question was, can you act? Are you an actor? I didn't walk up to them and go, you look just like Dr. McCoy.
Yeah.
No, because that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is, can they act? Can they carry an emotional script and a story with their ability to act? Because that's where, I mean, let's be honest, Kurt, that's where a lot of fan films fall horribly short. They've got a lot of people who are Star Trek fans, and that's great. I'm glad they're Star Trek fans, and I applaud them for wanting to make a Star Trek episode. But they're not strong actors. They don't have really any background in acting. They don't really have any experience in that.
Some of them don't really love Star Trek. They're just there to do a movie or be in it.
Maybe
they don't love it.
Maybe. But I mean, even if they do love it, you know what I mean? I may love basketball. It doesn't mean I can hit a 3-pointer. You know what I mean? It just, you can love something and still not really have the skills to actually do it yourself. You can still enjoy it. I mean, goodness gracious, how many people sit down and watch football every Sunday
Oh yeah.
and can't throw a ball, can't catch a ball, can't run very fast? I mean, it's not that they can do it, but they can love it. And a lot of Star Trek fan productions love Star Trek, and I applaud them for that. But when I started Star Trek Continues, having had the experience I did with other fan productions, one of the first things, the bar that I set from the very beginning was, we're going to tell compelling stories. We're going to tell thought-provoking stories like the original series did. And in order to do that, we need to have good actors. And I'm going to cast people that I know are good actors. Todd Haberkorn is a fellow voice actor, friend of mine, very talented actor. Chuck Huber, who played McCoy, very talented actor. I mean, these are people that are good actors. And they may not look exactly like the original actors, but give them 5 minutes and you'll buy into it. After half an episode, you're invested. And that's what I was.
You guys won me over. I'm telling you right now, I'm a fan right to the end now. I'll never stop watching it. I hope that YouTube channel stays up there because I don't get sick of them.
Well, I don't expect it will. And they're all available on our website as well, StarTrekContinues.com.
Yeah, I gotta get some of them on DVD too.
And they're all available for download and burning. Did you know that?
Yes, I'm gonna get some.
A few Christmases ago, I decided that it would be a nice Christmas present if we made all of the episodes available for download, so you can burn your own DVD or Blu-ray, along with all the artwork that you can print out and make inserts for them. So, and again, not charging 1 penny. It was never about making money. It still isn't. It was about paying tribute to this show that we loved.
And I'm telling you, you did a wonderful job at it. It's a respectable. I mean, I love it, and I hate to say this, I love it almost as good as I love the original series, and I shouldn't say that. Oh,
well, that's high praise, my friend. Thank you.
I know that's high
praise.
And
you know what? You're in good company, Kurt, because Rod Roddenberry said the same thing. He said, if my dad were alive today, he would consider this canon. And he said, I personally consider it canon. And in many cases, some of the episodes are on par with the original series. So, I mean, you can't ask for higher praise than that.
No, and I believe it is right on cue with the original series. If it's a continuation, and it's like, if you don't, a lot of people have not seen the original series, even though it's been out since, well, the very first episode was 1963 with Jeffrey Hunter, Susan Oliver. Do you remember that one?
Oh, sure. The Cage.
The Cage. I got some clips of that. I got some clips of The Cage. Here, let me show you some clips that I have here. Looking back at Star Trek Continues, and we'll go on with talking, Dick. I just wanted to do up some of these clips, and
I know what that's from.
Yeah.
And thank you for the kind words there, Mr. Checks and Balances. Michael from there was a makeup job right there.
Right there it is. Yeah, that was awesome.
Wow.
Cool.
Amy.
There's Amy Rydell. Yeah.
Our phasers. I love that. Where'd you get that picture?
From the fan
planet club set that we built.
Yeah. Oh, there's the stage or the set.
Yeah, there's the bridge. Our whole cast and crew there.
I hope to get there to that Star Trek set at one point.
I hope you get a chance. It's beautiful. If you love Star Trek, man, it's like stepping into a dream, Kurt. And it never gets old. I was there, when I rented the building, it was a slab of concrete. Like there was nothing there. And even though I've been there since the very beginning, helping build and working on the sets thousands of times, it never gets old. Every time you walk down that corridor, you feel like you're 10 years old again,
Yeah, and you can see it in how you act, Captain Kirk, and it's Captain Kirk, but it's your Captain Kirk. It's Your mannerisms are a little different, but about the same. But you can tell it's been done with love. And like we said, when we bumped in, we found Star Trek back when we were kids.
Yeah.
It's how much we love it, and I
Yeah.
could see.
Yeah. And I loved Bill Shatner, and I would never, ever, ever want anyone to think that I was somehow in any way trying to stereotype or do a parody like so many comedians do. I love Bill Shatner, and I love what he gave us, and I wanted to pay tribute to that as best I could.
Yes, and you have, and it's classic. I mean, it is something else. I wish you guys had your own, uh, like where you could. I was going to ask you something though too, Vic. Is there ever going to be any more episodes?
I don't see how there would be. Honestly, I don't see how there would be. We had originally wanted to do maybe 13 or 15, one more season. You know what I mean? We want to do one more season that finishes the 5-year mission. But through a series of events that we don't talk about because it didn't involve Star Trek Continues, it involved another fan production that kind of overstepped the line horribly and caused a great deal of difficulty with fan productions. But I will say I'm very proud that we were at least able to finish the series. We could have just stopped dead in our tracks. CBS could have contacted us and said, "You're done. Don't ever release anything else." And it would not have had any closure at all. But that's not what they did. What they did was they contacted me and they said, "How soon can you finish it? We know that you intended to finish the original series. How quickly can you do that?" And we couldn't get 15 done. We couldn't get 13 done, but we did get 11 done. And we successfully filled the gap between the cancellation of the original series and the beginning of the motion picture. And that was what we wanted to do all along. So I'm grateful that we got to do that. And
Yeah, and
since we did that, Kurt, where would more episodes go?
I know.
They would have to be before our 2-part finale, and that wouldn't make sense. We're all older, and it just wouldn't make sense. Now, if we were ever to do anything again, I would love to do something in the movie era. Maybe in between the motion picture and the Wrath of Khan.
That's what I was going to say.
Some unmined territory in the timeline. But, there's nothing set in stone. But I, as Mr. Spock says, I would always like to think there are possibilities. In answer to Michael Klein's question, Michael, we're talking about Star Trek Continues. It's a web-based series, live-action series, that picks up where the original series was canceled and finishes the 5-year mission. And finishes it beautifully, I might add. I executive produced the show. We have nearly 20 million viewers, and it's all free to watch. So I would encourage you to check it out.
Vic, Michael Klein is from Dusseldorf, Germany. He
oh my goodness!
Yeah, I do a sports show, and he's does the Dusseldorf Warriors. They're a team over in Germany I do a sports broadcast where he comes on all the time, talks about the Warrior Nation. So,
cool. Well, thank you, Michael. Wow, Dankeschön.
Yeah, Dankeschön.
I hope you'll check out StarTrekContinues.com. Go look it up.
Yeah, check it out, Michael. And thank you, Mr. Checks and Balances. What made Star Trek's Sorry about the typo. What made Star Trek Star Trek?
What made Star Trek? Well, I'll tell you what, Mr. Checks and Balances, and I'm sure we all agree if we're big fans of the original series, what made Star Trek Star Trek was the storytelling. It was the morality plays. It were the stories that took on social issues and moral questions and, ethical dilemmas. And that's why Star Trek is as relevant today to the human race as it ever was. It was a vehicle for Roddenberry to tell stories about sensitive issues of the day.
I was going to say, Vic, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I was going to say that there's so much stuff on TV now. That's why I go back to watching Star Trek Continues and the original series, because there's so much stuff that's on TV now that all there is in it is sex, violence, drugs, murder, death, you know. And that's what I love about the series too, is that there's a positive outcome, or there's a
Yes,
positive thing you can learn after every episode, you know.
I couldn't agree more, Kurt. I couldn't agree more. Nowadays, most television just appeals to the lowest common denominator of simple people who like to see sex and like to see fighting and like to see car crashes. And, it doesn't elevate the human spirit.
Right.
Star Trek elevated the human spirit.
It does.
And that was my goal with Star Trek Continue, because it was to elevate the human spirit.
Well, let me tell you, my friend, you have elevated it, and
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm speechless at how great these episodes are. The 11 episodes that you have, I think they're like, each one of them is like a little mini movie. They're just they're perfect. You know how you guys did all that. But I mean, we thanks to the cast, thanks to the special guests. I mean, my God, John Delancey, like we were talking about, Anne Lockhart, Aaron Gray, Lou Ferrigno, Michael Forrest. Oh, I was mentioning about Doctor Who. You had Colin Baker,
Yeah.
and Nicola Bryant.
Yes. Yes.
The sixth Doctor and his companion.
Yeah. Yep. They all did an amazing job.
It was wonderful.
Yeah. And I want to point out to your viewers also, none of these guest stars got paid.
I know, it's amazing.
You need to really absorb what that means. Most of our guest stars were professionals. They are professional actors, in many cases celebrities in their own right. And we didn't have money to pay them large sums. And when I approached them, I told them that. I said, look, we can't pay you a lot of money, but I can promise you it'll be a wonderful experience that you'll enjoy. You'll be a part of something that will have some real lasting value that a lot of people will embrace and love. We're making something very special here. And every one of them that you saw in our episodes all said, fine by me. When I had become friends with John Delancey from doing Comic-Cons with him. And when I asked him about playing the role in episode 9 that he played, I said, I've got this episode, I've got this story, and I think you'd be great for this role. You know what he didn't say? Well, how much are you going to pay me?
Yeah.
Didn't say that. I don't work for free, Vic. Didn't say that. You know what he said? In true artist fashion, he said, well, send me the script, and if I like it, I'll do it. Can't beat that.
That's amazing. That's what you call love. I know Lou Ferrigno said he was a fan since he's a kid of the series.
Yeah.
So, and you can tell the way all the parts were played, the way every episode came out, that everyone loved it. Everyone loved what they were doing.
Yes. There was a great spirit on set too. I had such tremendous love and affection and appreciation for everyone that worked on our series. Every time we would come together, the same 30 or 40 people would fly in from all over the country. That's unheard of, Kurt. You may not know this, but trust me when I tell you, from somebody who's worked on many fan productions, you might be able to get somebody to come help you with your fan production once, possibly twice, but that's it. Because it requires such a sacrifice of time, schedule, family, responsibilities, time from work, all that kind of stuff. And usually so many of them are so poorly organized and run,
right,
that volunteers come in and they're like, okay, well, I did it. Check the box. I'm done. I'm not going to do it again, but I did this one time and it was fun, but I'm not going to do it again. That's the way it is with almost every production I've ever been a part of, except Star Trek Continues. Star Trek Continues, we had with the exception, and I'm not even making this up, of maybe 5 people, we had the same 30 or 40 people every time we shot an episode. The same people 11 times came back to this beautiful little town in in South Georgia, Kingsland, Georgia, and spent 8 or 10 days all together like a big family making Star Trek episodes.
Well, I'm going back now, Vic. I'm sorry, but I'm going back now, and I'm going back through your behind the scenes stuff. So I've been checking that out, especially the last episode where you guys were dancing. I got a big kick out of that, man. That was so funny. You guys all looked happy. You finished the series, and dancing begun. The music was playing. It was awesome. Pretty cool.
Yeah, we even when we would shoot our episodes all day long, and then when we finished, we would all go to the same restaurant for dinner and kind of take over the restaurant. And then after that, we'd all go back to the hotel where we were all staying and sit around the pool and smoke cigars and have some whiskey and just, it was such a beautiful time. And I'll be honest with you, I miss it. I miss it because those kind of experiences are rare. And the people that were involved were all very special, talented, good people. And it was a once in a lifetime experience.
Yeah, it'll never happen again. It'll probably never happen again.
You're right.
I mean, I got a list right here, Vic, a list of all the people who were on it and everything. And I wrote them down because I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. Some of these guest stars were amazing. And the Michael, what the heck was his name? Oh, Michael Forrest. I don't know how you got him to come on as Apollo, but that was awesome. You know what I mean? It's an extension of the original series. It just made it. That's what makes this Star Trek Continues so special, because it's like a continuation, almost a series within a series. I mean, it's just deep. It's awesome.
Well, that was my goal. My goal was not to reinvent the wheel. They gave us a beautiful 79 episodes. And I told everybody when they came into our series, I'm like, we're not reinventing Star Trek. I told Todd Haberkorn, I don't need you to make Spock your own. Leonard Nimoy did just fine creating this character. And what I want is for people who watch our show to feel like they're watching a continuation of the original series. I told every single person that came in, I don't need your take on Sulu. I need you to play the role the way George Takei played it. I don't need you to reinvent Dr. McCoy. DeForest Kelley did just fine. And to myself, William Shatner is Captain Kirk, period. Bill Shatner is the Captain Kirk, the quintessential, the OG. And my goal was not to reinvent him or I'm going to make him my own, give him my own twist. No, nobody cares about my twist on Captain Kirk. They want to see more of the original series because it was cut short in its life. So that was our goal. Our goal was for people to feel like they didn't miss a beat. We wanted people to feel like they discovered 11 episodes that were locked in a vault somewhere for 50 years.
That's the way it felt too. It felt like where did they find these? Where have these been? And that's the way it felt when you cracked it open and you started watching the first episode, and that's what it felt like. They were lost somewhere, and and that's the way it felt. But I think you did a fantastic job as Captain Kirk, Vic. So
thank you.
Great job. Unforgettable.
Well, he was my hero. He was my child. I mean, a lot of the things that I do professionally now, Kurt, I started for the first time because of Star Trek. Like I was a little kid. I didn't act. I wasn't an actor. I was a 10-year-old. But watching
Right.
Star Trek, watching Bill Shatner and Leonard Nimoy inspired me. And I remember thinking, I want to do what they're doing. I want to tell stories. I want to be a part of a story that moves people, makes them laugh, makes them cry, makes them think. And so I started going to school and auditioning for school plays in junior high school, in grade school, because of Star Trek. And then I started working on shooting little home movies with my parents' 8mm movie camera and learning the craft of framing a shot and special effects and acting and camera position and lighting, all because of Star Trek. So to me, it was a really beautiful thing to take the original subject matter that inspired me in the first place to do all of these skills that I've developed over the years and ultimately come full circle to make more of the thing that inspired me in the first place.
Right. That's what I was going to say. And it's wonderful to walk away from a show and either you're going to have a warm feeling or a hurt feeling or an emotional feeling. There's so many shows that are out there. There's nothing to them. I mean, you watch them and I don't feel nothing about that thing. The ended and that I don't like, but every episode and you have a feeling, either a sad feeling or you have a happy feeling. A lot of times, Star Trek, they make it through no matter how hard it is. And that's the way I feel about the series is it made it through. No matter how hard it was. I know you were persistent and you kept your head straight and forward on the straight and forward path and kept it going. Otherwise, I don't think the show would have been
Oh no,
around.
and I have to say, and not just me. I mean, I wore a lot of hats for sure, and I led the team and I led the production, but you know, I just thought of a line from our 8th episode. The old Captain Kirk said, "Are you a leader if no one's following?"
Right.
So I was the leader, but I had a lot of people that were supporting in every different facet, great people in every department, and everyone stepped up to their job and even went above and beyond their job in most cases because it was all hands on deck. If we were getting ready to shoot a scene and one of our boom mic guys suddenly was gone, well, we're not like, well, I'm not touching the microphone. I'm not a sound guy. No, one of the prop guys would step right in and grab the mic. I mean, everybody contributed in many different ways. And
That is awesome.
a beautiful thing. A beautiful thing.
Yeah, it is. It came together. It shows. And Vic, man, I'm so glad you made it on the show. I gotta have you on again, though. I gotta have you on again if you at some point. But
Sure. Do you have any other questions for me, Kurt, or do any either let's see, Mr. Checks and Balances?
no, Mr. Checks and Balances got because you did what? Well, he does have one question. He's because you did what you did so faithfully. I have to believe that the audience for it will only continue to grow as more and more TOS fans discover what you have crafted for them.
Well, from your lips to God's ears, Mr. Checks and Balances, that's exactly what we are hoping. When we made the episodes, some of my production team would say, hey, we should buy Facebook ads. We should buy ad time on Facebook. And I remember saying, nah, we're not going to use our money that way. We're going to use money to make the episodes. And then we're just going to let it grow organically. We're going to let people discover it and let them share it by word of mouth or on their own social media pages. Oh my gosh, I found this Star Trek thing. You should check it out. That kind of thing. And we've never paid for any advertising of our series. And yet here we are, as I said, approaching 20 million viewers.
Oh yeah, you guys got millions of viewers on your YouTube channel. I watch it, like I said, I watch it every night. I don't get sick of it. I'd rather watch that than something's on channel 12 or 30 that they're playing today, you know. So don't want to mention any names or anything, but it's just garbage, you know. And I hate like I would say that, but anyway.
Well, you know what? To each his own. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure there's somebody out there that loves this or loves that. Well, fine. Okay, good. God bless you. You like that? Good. That's cool. Not my cup of tea, but you do you. You know, I have nothing bad to say about the new Star Trek series because I'm not their target audience, Kurt. Neither are you. And
No.
this is what we have to remind ourselves. When Star Trek fans get all up in arms, I hate the new Star Trek, blah, blah, blah. You're not their target audience.
Right. Yep.
Younger generation, a different mindset, a different type of person is their target audience. And I'm fine with that. In fact, my hope is that somebody may watch some of the newer Star Trek series and then go, hey, that was pretty cool. Wasn't there a show back in the 60s that started all this? And then maybe they'll go back and watch the beauty that was the original series that started all of it. That's my hope. But I have nothing bad to say about other Star Trek series and movies. If they bring people to Star Trek, that's fine. And we made what we had a passion for.
And it shows, Vic. I tell you, it shows, man. I love it. And there's millions of other people who love it. They're watching it. I watch it religiously. So I watch it every night. I probably start right in watching it tonight after I get done with the show.
Thank you, Kurt. What is it? Do you have any other questions for me?
No, I'm going to get ready to let you go. I was going to show some clips and then get ready to let you go because I know we've been on a little bit, almost an hour, 40 minutes. But let me show you. I got some cast and crew stuff to show, and then we'll get out of here. Okay, Vic? I got a lot of these different clips and stuff that I put together.
That's one of my favorites. I loved that episode.
Yeah.
I loved What Ships Are For. Yep. We had just finished building our planet set, and the girls wanted to take a photo out there. That was that last picture you just put up.
It's pretty cool.
And then, of course, that's a Charlie's Angel homage right there.
Yep. And there's Lou.
Louie in the transporter platform.
Spock.
A mirror Spock.
Yep.
Our planet set. I loved that set.
It's good images, man. I know. I love it. Kim Stinger.
Nice. Yeah, Kim did a great job. We often tried to recreate some of those classic.
Chris Doohan
and his dad. Fiona Vroom as Lolani. Yep. There's Asia DeMarcos there. You know, Nichelle Nichols was at our first episode premiere.
I know.
And Kim Stinger sat right beside her when we watched Pilgrim of Eternity.
I know. She was an amazing actress. She was an amazing actress. All right, buddy. I'm going to let you go. I'll probably play the trailer on your way out, and then we'll get out of here. All right.
Thanks. All right. Well, thanks for having me, Kurt. And anybody that watches your show or has been in here, check out and let people know about Star Trek Continues. It's all free to watch, and we would love it if you'd join us.
I will, man. I'll spread the word of Star Trek Continues, and I hope you'll come back on for another live show sometime.
Sure. And you know what? I would be remiss, Kurt, not to say, I also, I would encourage you guys, any of you guys, to follow me on social media because I do a lot of Comic-Con appearances. I do a lot of event appearances around the country. So if you've seen our series and you'd like to come and say hello, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, whatever, Facebook, and you'll see announcements about events that I'll be at. Come say hello.
I'm following you right now, man. I'm following all your social medias, and I'm spreading the word.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
All right, bud. Later, Vic.
Appreciate it. Take care, man.
Yep. Live long and prosper, my friend.
And you too, my friend.